me full screen before you do that. All right, so we are now live on YouTube and Facebook. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. My name is Paul Richards. I'm with PTZOptics. We are the live streaming camera manufacturer. And today we're talking about outdoor camera enclosures. And outdoor camera enclosures really changed the game as far as having the ability to put cameras almost anywhere, not just indoors, but the great outdoors. And here at PTZOptics, we are really excited to talk about two brand new outdoor camera enclosures. One is actually a new vandal-proof system that allows you to put PTZ cameras inside of. And then another one, which I'll show you here, has a heater blower unit inside so that we can put these cameras in almost anywhere in the world. So we're going to go over all of this and more after this. Hello, PA Pence watching from Northern California. Thank you for joining. In fact, Dotworkz, the enclosure manufacturer that we're working with to create an outdoor camera solutions from San Diego. So that's pretty cool. So today we're talking about outdoor camera enclosures, and I want to start off with a few news items. Right, Mike? So we've got some news items we're going to go over. First of all, wanted to mention that the Stream Geek Summit is coming up soon. But before that, outdoor camera enclosures. This picture here is an outdoor camera enclosure installed outside our office. And you can actually control it and view it at twitch.tv/PTZOptics. How cool is that? We've now kind of created an instructional guide that we're going to post on our YouTube and Facebook channels showing you how to integrate PTZOptics cameras directly into outdoor camera enclosures so you can get broadcast quality outdoors. And we're going to review today. I'm going to show you guys how we installed it, some of the things that we considered when we put an outdoor streaming camera outside. Now, if you're interested in joining us in New York City, the Stream Geek Summit is November 8th, and we'd love to have you as part of that. Check it out at streamgeeks.us/summit in New York City. Take a long weekend in the Big Apple and join us November 8th for the Stream Geek Summit at the Dream Downtown Hotel in Chelsea. Now, today we are giving away a PTZOptics webcam. So I'm super excited about that. The PTZOptics webcam is a live streaming webcam. It's USB 2.0. It can do full HD 1080p quality, and it's something you guys should check out. And somebody today is going to win. You just have to be watching live to claim the prize. Now, there's more giveaways to come. You can actually win a pass to the Stream Geek Summit at streamgeeks.us/summit. So check that out, or a big PTZOptics 20X camera as well. So don't forget to sign up for that. And that's it. So without further ado, I would like to introduce my guest, Will from Dotworkz. We're talking about Will Ferris, the CEO.
Hey guys, good to see you, Paul. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure. I can't believe all those cool enclosures that you guys have. It's been really fun working with you, Will. Can you tell us a little bit about Dotworkz and your history with the company?
Absolutely. Well, we've been doing outdoor camera housings probably for about 20, 25 years now, all based here in the U.S. So San Diego is what we call home. Everything that you see behind me is basically built here in San Diego. So we're locally owned, locally operated, locally resourced, all that good stuff. So we've got camera housings all over the world. Nothing's more fun in my book than to do some travel and then look up and see our housings in the oddest places around the globe. So it's makes for a very proud moment. Something the team here takes a lot of pride in as far as the production and detail and everything from design all the way to functionality. You know, if you haven't heard of Dotworkz in the past, then this is definitely going to be a great introduction. We look forward to kind of getting some more details about what makes us different, what makes the camera housings actually a very, very useful tool for getting more options for these great cameras.
So the world of online webcams and live streaming out when it comes to outdoors, I know a lot of people get really passionate, whether it's a bird cam or a cam in the zoo, a live streaming a popular event. And when you want to go
Yep.
outdoors where a lot of the action is, you got to come out with a cool housing. So I want to show two housing models that you've recommended for PTZOptics cameras. Let's start with
Yep.
the heater
Yep.
blower unit here. We're going to show this full
Sure.
screen. This is the unit here, but I also have a really great view from above. Tell us a little bit about this unit specifically as I actually put the PTZOptics camera inside here.
Well, the heater blower unit is just pretty much our go-to, our pickup truck, if you will, of the models that we offer. Our most popular. And the reason why is because we're able to regulate internal temperature as well as give all the vandal resistance, the ingress protections, the rust-proof outer side of the enclosures, all that stuff into one package. So when going outdoors, it's important that we really look at, like I said, that temperature. So if we are going to be seeing any kind of cold weather or anything out of the normal, the heater blower model that you're seeing in front of you actually has a heater system that turns on, turns off accordingly. But more importantly, we're able to blow that hot energy forward into the lens and in and around the camera. And that's very, very important, not just for extreme cold or anything like that, but to keep fog, any kind of condensation on the from getting on that actual lens. So again, very, very useful for long-term reliable use outdoors. So we don't have any fogging of the lens. But at the same time, we have, in this case, this heater blower unit, that's IP68 rated. So it doesn't get any more protected than that as far as being weatherproof, waterproof, and as well, in this case, this heater blower that we've made for PTZOptics is very, very vandal resistant too. So we're really able to secure that sensitive electronic on the inside and keep it looking good for long periods of time outdoors.
So one of the points of interest I want to share is this weather port, weather tight port on the side here, this conduit you have. We have an Ethernet cable running in here. I think that a lot of the customers that we have using the NewTek NDI cameras may actually consider plugging in just a simple Ethernet to the camera, which can power it, do control and video actually. But you've got two ports here, which is interesting.
Yes.
I can see folks running SDI for that uncompressed 3G video quality in the sports environment where they want to have 60 frames a second at full HD. I could also see audio being run in here from microphones. I was reading through your manual, and I understand that once you run the cables through, you recommend using a little bit of sealant to weather seal those.
Yeah, I'll give you a little bit about those ports. We designed those ports to be universal so that we can bring in all sorts of different cable sizes and types without needing any proprietary tooling or anything like that. So those ports are all part of the recipe for this particular housing to be very, very easy to install. They are IP68 rated as well. So aside from the housing being able to withstand underwater for 45 minutes or so at 6 feet, those cable glands are also, if installed properly and tightened properly, are real excellent for kind of safeguarding that waterproofness of that housing. So we really want a universal way to get all those different cable types, like you just mentioned, into the housing. And a thing to keep in mind, Paul, is that the housing that we're seeing isn't just for protecting this awesome camera. This housing has the capability of protecting other devices that you may need. And I know you mentioned audio and some other things, but every install is different, whether it's high school sports or, like you said, a bird cam. There is room inside this housing, extra room by design, so that you can add other components, whether it's UPS battery backups or fiber optics or whatever you may need to be IP68 rated, protected, and heat protected and all that inside the housing. So there's a lot that goes into the genetic of this device to be able to really expand the capability of PTZOptics cameras in the wild.
Now we're getting a question here. If anyone's watching live, feel free to ask questions. Brian Palmer's asking, how much power does the heater draw? And I'm seeing here, and this is something By the way, guys, we're going to go outside and we're going to show an actual outdoor camera enclosure that's installed on our building. So you guys are going to get to see this, and I'll talk a little bit about the, the things that we thought about, the things that have been done. But tell me a little bit about this heater here and this heater blower unit for Brian.
Absolutely, and this is a key component to us. If you're actually seeing the video, there's a little piece stenciled on there. That's our MVP system. That just means multi-volt platform. So this whole system that is in front of you now is a power transfer system that is designed to take 110 power or 220 or 260 and step that down to be 12 or 24 volts. Well, as we know, the PTZOptics cameras are designed to run off of that 12 volt DC. So we have plenty of options there. But at the same time, there's room for other devices to be powered off of that MVP device. So the question was, well, what's the heater draw? That's about 10 watts or so. And keep in mind, that's 10 watts plus the two fans, or the single fan actually in this model, that's generating that heat to be transferred to the front. So yeah, just to know that MVP multi-volt platform is designed to take in that line power, step that down for the PTZOptics cameras, but at the same time have some more room for adding your other devices potentially inside there to power it off a single source. Very, very convenient, especially if you're going to be moving the camera. Say it's a high school sports venue, or if it's outdoor for a convention, or anywhere basically that may need to be moved. It's all awesome because you can put that in one housing and then kind of seal it up. And then if you need to move that around for whatever reason, it's all can stay in that one single case.
Now, Will, I know we worked together on creating a quick start guide video that's going to be published soon. Here it is, and you'll notice that there's two different models. And so we're going to show we're really going to support two models at this time from PTZOptics. One includes the heater blower, one does not, right? And the one that does not actually is really more for indoor vandal-proof scenarios. We talked a lot about the heater blower unit. Tell me about this second unit here, and we'll take a look at it as well. This one is more for gymnasiums, places where you don't need to worry about the heater blower.
Oh yeah, there's a lot that goes on to this, and this housing can of course go outdoors if need be. But at the same time, I think the big takeaway from this particular model and why it's so useful for protecting the cameras is, of course, it's going to protect it from water protection, still IP68. So if it ever does encounter getting wet for some reason, it's going to be able to handle that. But at the same time, obviously, insects and other things that may hamper the viewing angles or the viewing experience of the camera, it's going to keep that out. But even more important, and this is what we see a lot, and a lot of people don't really think about this because when you're installing a camera, it's usually a 10-minute process and then you go away from it. But in the case of high school sports or any time where we're going to be having to do a longer term install is keeping that camera lens crystal clear. This lower bubble it's a nylon-based product, very, very resistant to baseball impact, hammer impact, skateboard impact, whatever might come its way. It's almost indestructible in a lot of ways, but at the same time, it's optically pure, very, very crystal clear as far as that translating what that camera needs to see. But at the same time, if it is stored long-term in one location, there is a lot of issues with dust, salt, anything else building up on the outside of this. But that dome shape is very, very easy to clean. In fact, we actually manufacture tools that keep people on the ground and give you the options for cleaning that lower dome very, very easily, very quickly. So for those longer term installs, that design is just awesome for keeping the dust off of the sensitive electronic, but also keeping that electronic performing good under all conditions over time. So
now, Ron Douglas is asking a question that I'm prepared to help answer. His question is, how do I mount the product? Can I put it on a speaker stand for quick setup? Now, this is another scenario that I think is going to be really popular with our customers. And I have the plate here that I believe is what you recommend. Now, this plate here, I'm going to show it maybe from the ceiling camera, Mike, if that's okay. So basically what this plate does, and I believe it ships with both units, and we'll let's show the product part numbers, Mike, one by one. We'll start with the outdoor part number, and we'll do the indoor. But I believe it goes on right here.
Yep.
And this is able to tighten with the included screws to a speaker stand, exactly, with a pole there, so that this is for our friends that are doing those outdoor concerts. Maybe they don't need the heat. In fact, they probably don't need the heater blower kit. They're probably looking at this one here, which we haven't looked at too closely. That's this unit here with no heater blower inside at all.
That's a base model. Yep.
The base model. So the SKU for this is PTZO-base, and tell me, Will, does it include this speaker stand mount?
Yeah. So that's the special mount. Those are designed to, of course, attach first. So real easy, very convenient. I just did one of these last week. You basically just get that bracket mounted ahead of time. Make sure it's vertical if you're going on a pole. If it's not vertical or the pole's not vertical, let us know. We have a special bracket for that. But mount that bracket first, and then you simply just attach the hardware kit, the hardware to those. They're very, very simple 9/16 socket drives that can go right into fasteners that can go right into that. And then you attach the D2 model right to that bracket. So it's really designed to be a hands-on, single arm install, single hand install, so that if you're on a ladder or something, you just attach the hardware to that bracket first, and then everything kind of just slides and snaps into place very safely if you're on a ladder. So real easy to do.
Perfect. So yeah, that was one of the questions that came to mind, and I'm thinking, just so everyone knows, where this is actually available on the Dotworkz website, we are going to find the links and put them below, and they're going to be in two videos. And Will, I'm thinking about a third here. So video 1, which we have complete, we're going to be releasing soon, is exactly how to fit the PTZOptics camera into these enclosures. Video number 2 is going to be the process, the thought considerations, the actual installation of these outside. And then I think, Will, we didn't plan for this, but I'm thinking a third video, which is speaker mounting, tripod mounting the base model to a speaker stand, because that's so popular with outdoor live streams.
Yeah, the amp, just to give the viewer that little bit more background on the mounts. Speaker stands, we've seen multiple cameras going for live events off of speaker stands, but maybe look up amplifier stands as well. They're a little bit heavier duty. So very, very, very useful, very mobile at that point. But
I'm writing that
nothing
down
can
because maybe you could even send me a link, because I want to buy the exact one you recommend for this video we're going to create. Everyone's always asking about tripods. Folks are always worried about rain. I know some of our customers who bring trash bags, literally just in case they have to throw them over the cameras, and there's a better way. So this has been a great live stream. Unless you have anything else, Will, I want to take the audience on a live view of our outdoor cameras. Is there anything that we missed that we should?
Yeah, one thing to talk about, Paul, I think we didn't get in touch on, was the fact that once your camera is in this housing, it can be basically locked down too. So it just goes a long way for securing the camera, either short-term or long-term. So if there's any threat that the camera might disappear, walk away, so to speak, the D2 housings, whether it's vandal or the heater blower, designed to be locked down and very, very effective in keeping the camera where it needs to be. So just something to bring up in case that may be someone's concern.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because it's true. A lot of us are always trying to, make sure things that we invest in stay safe. Now, I'm not sure if I mentioned the fact, I think I mentioned this a little bit in the pre-show, that if you guys want to check out at twitch.tv/PTZOptics, we actually are showing the live streaming camera that we have that we're about to go take a look at here. And this camera actually can be controlled directly through Twitch. So you can check that out. It's really a lot of fun. You can look around downtown Westchester and check out twitch.tv/PTZOptics. Thank you so much for coming in, Will. We're going to take the audience on a live look at how we installed this camera. I'm going to take the audience on a live look at how we installed this camera outside. And if there's any questions in the chat, please help us answer them, because I'm going to be going live in a moment here. Hi, everybody. I just want to say some shout outs. Hi, Ron. Hi, Matt. Hi, Vincent. Hi, video guys. Thank you, everybody, for chiming in today. Let's go live. Let's go mobile. Let's take a look at the outdoor camera enclosure that we've got going on. Thanks again, Will. All right, so here we go. So as you guys know, we like to switch between our studio production from our producer here, Mr. Michael Luttermoser, to our outdoor camera enclosure. Now I want to pull your attention to one new camera in our studio. This is going to be our new remote Twitch camera. So again, twitch.tv/PTZOptics, that is the camera that generally you're going to be able to control. It's the mic cam, right? It's the behind the scenes cam. If you guys want to see what Mike is up to, you can go ahead and take a look. And that's this camera here. So during the productions of our show, Mike's going to give you guys the ability to look behind the scenes. But without further ado, let's take a look at the outdoor camera that we had. And I'm going to try my best. Maybe Michael can hear this. He's going to help me answer questions on the chat. But essentially, we have put a live streaming camera with a Dotworkz enclosure on the outside of our studio. And some of you guys may be familiar with our podcasting studio here in Westchester, Pennsylvania. And what we've done, and I'm going to go out, don't have to go far to show this off, is we have, I'm going to put that up just like that. We've put the camera right here. So that is a 12x NDI PTZOptics camera in white in the PTZO-HB heater blower unit. You can see the camera there. So what we did is we brought actually 3 cables. So one is power. Okay, so we do have power running to the heater blower unit. We have SDI. Okay, that's 3G SDI cabling, so we can go up to 1080p at 60 frames a second. And we have Ethernet. And so depending, it's really kind of the type of scenario where it's the best of both worlds. So we've got SDI for full uncompressed HD video, and then we also have NDI so that we can, from the networking perspective, we can show any of the cameras that we have. Now, as I mentioned, and you can see the camera moving there, this camera is totally controllable on Twitch. So you can control this camera remotely from anywhere in the world. And that's from an extension available on Twitch that allows you, as the broadcaster, to let anyone in the world control your camera. And there's more information on that at PTZOptics.com/Twitch. And we were at TwitchCon last week, actually, and it was just so much fun to show the Twitch broadcasters that they can really bring audiences into their studio and allow them to control cameras. Really, I think, blew their minds. Now, I will say that PTZOptics has a lot of new products coming out in the next, let's say, a couple months. We're going to have some really cool announcements that's going to make what we're showing more and more important. So not only are lots of high schools live streaming sports in outdoor environments, whether it be a football field or another space, we're talking about Twitch streaming studios, we're talking about bird cams, we're talking about retail spaces. There's so many opportunities, and here's the camera from a little bit afar here. totally vandal proof, 100% IP68 rated. This camera could be here for years. Now, of course, this is under an eave, so it's not going to get hit by a lot of rain. In fact, we're going to use this camera to live stream some parades in our town. In fact, this is one of the main streets in our town, so all the parades come down Market Street. So we're going to be able to show that. I'm actually going to put a sticker on this camera that shows, that tells the world, hey, you can control this camera on Twitch. You're on camera. Now, something interesting in Pennsylvania, and other states are different, but I think New York is very similar. It is illegal to have a microphone recording any public space, okay? Cameras can be put out here, but we could not use a microphone. That has to do with laws about recording conversations and people in the world. But if you own or we are renting a space here in Westchester, Pennsylvania, you can obviously have a PTZ camera outside of your space and show it there. So there it is. Now, I'm guessing I'm getting a lot of questions in the chat, so I want to hit those up. I know if you guys are asking questions, I'm going to answer them in a moment. The cables have been run through a block wall. So this enclosure has been designed not just to be outdoor rated, but really to mount to a whole bunch of different spaces. But the most important thing when you're mounting a camera outside, and we have a whole video on this that we're going to be releasing next week, actually 3 videos that we're going to be releasing. But the first video is how to get the PTZOptics camera into these enclosures, and then the second video is how to install them outside. And the interesting thing about installing these cameras outside is that you really need to think about finding a fully vertical space, because when you pan left and right, you want that vertical horizon to be totally straight when you pan left to right. So that's one of the main concerns. Also, you can see this very clear plexiglass dome that we have here. It allows us to do HD video broadcast quality out of the lens, and to give the audience control is something in very low latency with the Twitch servers is something that I think is just really kind of cool. So there it is. Now I'm gonna go back inside, see if I can answer some questions from the chat, and if you guys have any questions, let me know. This is obviously drop ceiling. So sometimes when you install these cameras, you have to get above the drop ceiling. You have to drill a hole through the wall, and you have to get that cable to a camera. And then we ran SDI to our video switcher, and then obviously Ethernet to infrastructure system that is optimized for the new tech NDI, so that we can bring that NDI camera into something like Wirecast, Open Broadcaster software, vMix, etc., etc. How'd it look out there, Mike? Sweet. All right, we're going to switch over. Let's see if I had any questions that I can answer. You guys see what's up? Cool, cool. All right. Okay. Can you show the full zoom on the camera? Yes, we can. Hi, Dan. What's the best way to get an HDMI feed out of the camera without converting it to Ethernet to keep everything watertight? All right. So is my microphone still on? I don't think I turned it off. Okay, cool. Yeah, if you can take the backpack. Let's see. All right, so successful live stream once again. Boom. It's not as easy as it seems, but we're doing a lot here, and I think Mike did a great job at the production today. So basically, let's answer some questions in the chat. So first of all, let me answer the first question from, I want to show it up here, Dan Matthews. So Dan, yes, it's true that, and I don't think we fully talked about this, Dan, but thank you for asking the question. These weather-tight conduit holes can only... Sure. All right, so we still have Will. So Will's going to come back in. Hey, Will, how's it going?
Hey, guys.
Bringing you back.
How was that outdoor? Yeah.
What do you think about our outdoor enclosure?
Oh, it's just definitely as a whole nother perspective to what you guys do, and it's really cool to be able to see kind of the behind the scenes, but also the, what your day-to-day view may look like at your office or at your business or at your convention, whatever it may be. So yeah, that outdoor perspective just brings it all home. Not everywhere is inside. So let's see the world, so to speak. And awesome to have this combination available now.
So Dan Matthews has a question. What's the best way to get the HDMI feed out of a housing without converting it to Ethernet? Nobody likes terminating HDMI cabling. What can we do here?
Well, there's just so many different ways to kind of answer that. But if you did want to add another device, and I think we kind of talked on this, there's just a lot of third-party boxes and encoders and pieces that are going to translate that HDMI into Ethernet out there. So you're just wanting to get an HDMI feed out of our housings. Well, the nice thing is, and I think we talked about this, Paul, is that those ports on the side, once you take everything apart and then put it back together the way that those cable glands are intended, you can feed that HDMI cable through there and then kind of tighten it back up. So if you wanted to extend HDMI, or if you wanted to translate HDMI to Ethernet, like I said, there's just a whole host of third-party options out there. And Paul, you know best in the broadcasting world. Of course, there's the cubes, and there's all the other products out there that I think you actually used just now. So a lot of different options, and it all fits inside this housing. So that's
honestly, to be honest, my recommendation would be to take the SDI video output and just convert it to HDMI, because SDI can be run hundreds of feet. It's so easy to terminate. Literally, it's one copper cable. You crimp a connector on it and you're good to go. So a lot of videos on that as well. But I think that most customers, I'm talking like 99% of our customers, are going to run Ethernet for power the camera. I don't think too many people are going to be using the step-down converter because the cameras are PoE and they need the Ethernet connectivity. And then SDI for that hardwired connection. And you can get an SDI to HDMI converter. You only need it on the far end. You don't need to put the box in the unit. Don't worry about that. $30, $50, really cheap little converter to go from SDI to HDMI.
Yeah, one point to bring up too, and maybe the caller had that question about converting, but there's wireless options too. So these housings can go to wireless very, very easily. And if you did need to go back into that 12-volt environment to run it off a battery, say, you can power, of course, your wireless unit and the camera off of that battery. So a lot of different options, a lot of ways to really solve a lot of puzzles or problems that you may have in the field. And that's just it, is that, maybe lean on us too. We're more than happy to answer questions, integration questions. If you have to add more than one device, so to speak, to that step down, if you just needed to go 12 volt, if you didn't need any of that and you had, hey, is this cable going to go through? Those are all big questions that we've actually seen a lot of. So keep in mind those two ports on the side, those are all post-production here. So if you needed no ports, so to speak, or you needed 3, of course, units, because they're built in San Diego, we can do that for you before they go out. So a lot of different things available when it comes to Dotworkz and when it comes to getting cables and other devices, like I said, wireless. Because it's non-metallic, the actual wireless device, whether it's an antenna for your 4G uplink, so to speak, on the inside, without anybody even knowing that that's there, or just your 2.4 or your 5.8, whatever you may need to run from a wireless standpoint, because it's non-metallic, that can all be put covertly inside the housing as well.
Cool. Yeah, and we are going to be, doing a lot of videos here at PTZOptics to prepare our customers for what they should be thinking about. I guess that's it. Will, thank you so much for joining. We really covered a lot of this today. The 2 models, and then I know, Will, you talked about our Zcam models a little bit before the show. I think we could work on something there as well. So our PTZOptics Zcam models have been really popular for us. So I know you have housing solutions as well for that.
super exciting, Paul. Just to add to your Z model, there is that lens. If you did need to go a higher zoom ratio on that lens into the 200 millimeter or further out, of course the housings have room for that now. So we've got housings that are available for up to 500 millimeter lenses. So if you did have those far shots, keep us in mind. Glad to help it.
Wow, that is so cool. Well, thank you everybody. And thank you, Frank. Thank you, James. Thank you, everyone who joined today. Will, it was a pleasure. We are PTZOptics. We're live every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And I can't forget that we have a giveaway. I almost did forget, to be honest. You almost forgot about the giveaway? I think that's why so many people are still watching. We got to do our giveaway. So you have to be watching to win the giveaway. So I'm going to pull a winner right now. Let's see here. I'm going to draw 3 winners, one after another, to see if our person is winning. Now, it's Robert Frazier from Gainesville, Florida here. I'm going to show his name up on the screen. And if you're here, Robert, just say hi in the chat and you will win. We'll send you a free PTZOptics webcam. Where did my PTZOptics webcam go? Thought I had it here. She took it. Oh, there it is. What was she thinking? So here's the brand new PTZOptics webcam. We're not making outdoor enclosures for this unit, but we could one day. Robert Frazier, we're waiting for you. This is the PTZOptics brand new USB 2.0 webcam. Someone's going to win this. We're going to pull 3 winners. Doesn't look like Robert's here, so we're going to keep rolling. Great show. Thanks for being part of this, everybody. I really enjoy it. James, thanks for the audio check. We should have done that before the show, but that's okay. Going to pick another winner because it doesn't look like Robert's here. All right. Our next winner is from, let's see here. Come on. Pick this winner. Okay. Fabio Marin from Spain. Are you here, Fabio? Hi, Demetrius. Demetrius, good to see you. I'm sure you'll be getting into some projects where you need an outdoor camera enclosure one of these days. Looking for Fabio Marin. He's from Spain. And then I'm going to pull one more just because I have a feeling Fabio's not here. But if you are, Fabio, let us know. Okay, come on. Here we go. Okay, come on. Taking a second. I think I got a lot of bandwidth coming through here. All right. Jacier Lopez, are you here? All right. We're going to do 3 per. If Jacier is not here, we will push this giveaway back till next week. Hasler Lopez. Hi, George Diamond. Oh, Benjamin Ruiz just got a vMix license. Might be able to win a webcam. All right. Benjamin Ruiz. Hi from Belize. Cool. All right. It doesn't look like they're here. Okay. Well.